Well, hello there. You are watching yet another episode of the Exceleration Netcast. And in this particular episode, we're going to be looking at a simple improvement you can make to your charts and also to your pivot tables that's going to make them much more presentable for decision makers. This is something that I think people generally don't know that they can fix this, and it's not a huge problem, but I think it makes your reports look a whole lot sharper. Okay, so we're going to start here. We've got this pivot chart. This is more specifically a power pivot chart, and it looks okay, but there's one thing that some people wouldn't consider to be a problem. I would consider to be a problem. If you look over here on the axis labels, you'll notice that they're showing like all these significant digits, and decision makers don't care about this. What they want to see is 2.5M or 2.0M or something to that effect. They don't want all these extra significant digits that don't really mean anything. And also, when you hover over your data series here, you get your little tooltip, your little hover over dialog, and that shows you the value, but it shows you, again, like every single significant digit, and decision makers generally don't want that level of detail. They want 3, maybe 5 significant digits in any given number. So we're going to show you a really nice, robust way to do that. So what I'm going to do is I've got my chart selected here, and I've got my measure, and I'm going to click on this, and you can't really see it, but down here at the very bottom, there's a value field settings button. It's the same button that you get right here. Unfortunately, there's no way to access from the chart. You can access from the pivot table, but I'm just going to do this because this is kind of quick. So I'm going to click on values, go down to value field settings, and here I've got a number format. So when Excel goes over to Power Pivot and says, hey, go evaluate this measure, the measure comes back, and with it comes back a default number format, but we can override that here. So that's what we're going to do. Click on that, and we're going to go to custom, and we're going to do a $sign and pound, comma, pound 0.0. Oop. And we're also going to have a space and a K. Oh, and I forgot the most important part. So this is just, right now we would just show sort of basically what we have right now. But if I add a comma here, what it's going to do is it's going to round the numbers down by, or not round them down, it's going to divide by 1,000 basically. And so I'm going to add this label, and when I do, though, we're essentially going to get the number in thousands. So I'm going to hit OK, and OK again, and now notice we've got the number in thousands, although we want the number in millions. So let's do that same trick again. Click on here, value field settings, number format, and we're going to, instead of having 1 comma, we're going to have 2 commas, and now we have to change this K to an M because we're displaying things in millions. And I hit OK, and I'm going to hit OK again, and now I've got it. Oh, in that nice number format. Although I'm going to make one change. If you notice here, this is a whole lot better, but I've still got this 0.0M, and boy, I would prefer to get rid of that if I can, and I can. So past number 3, we're going to Control C to select this. We're going to do a semicolon. Now we're telling Excel how we want to evaluate negative numbers. It doesn't really matter. There are no negative numbers, but I'm just going to paste. And I'm going to hit semicolon again. Now we're going to tell Excel how to evaluate 0. And we're just going to have another semicolon. So if you get 0 values, don't show anything. So this $sign 0.0M should just be nothing. So I hit OK. And OK. And boom. OK, I'm done. Great. Now let's say, also notice that when I hover over, everything's shown in millions again. Let's say that I want my axis here to be in millions, but I want my actual values here on the plot area to be in thousands. Well, I could do that. That's not too hard. I'm going to go to this trick yet one more time. Value field settings, number format. And what I have to do is I have to remove the comma. Remove the comma and change the M to a K. And now I'm going to, I should probably put, I'm not sure if you have to put a negative sign in front of the negative or if it'll do it automatically for you. I'm going to go ahead and do it just in case. Doesn't really matter, we don't have any negative values, but we're going to be sort of overdo it a little bit. So I'm going to hit OK. Okay. Now, here we sort of have what we had just a second ago, so you might be saying to yourself, Brian, you actually haven't fixed the problem. But if you look down here on the tooltip, we've got exactly what we want. We've got the numbers expressed in thousands with one extra significant digit. So now that we've got that, we can click on this guy, and we can actually override. We can override the default measure number format that Excel uses with a specific format for the axis labels. So we're going to click on the axis labels. We got the box around it. I'm going to hit Control-1 to format it. It's going to bring open this dialog box. Head down here, twirl open number, and down here it says link to source. We're going to uncheck that. So when we uncheck that, it's going to no longer inherit the custom number code from the format we put down here. We're gonna be able to override it with our own. So now we're gonna go down here. We're gonna add the extra comma, change this to M for millions. Add an extra comma, change this to M for millions, and hit add. And then close these guys. And boom, all done. Now we've got a much sharper looking chart that doesn't have all those extra significant digits that don't mean anything. Okay. Well, I do hope that was helpful, and I will see you next podcast. Or I should say netcast.